Welcome to a new episode of Disgruntled Italian. I am your host, Ercole, and this episode will be talking about and concluding the corporate grid and how the corporate grid is influencing and meshing with the political institution. So let's just start from the first point. Inflation. The inflation, accordingly to all main institutions, it's something that is not controlled by the president or by any political entity. It's dictated by how the marketing section and now the pocket of the people is. If they are healthy, there will be an inflation because there is more demand on goods. If they don't have money in their pocket, there will not be that much of an inflation because there is not that much of a demanding of goods. So that's about the inflation. So, and this is not something that can be varied. Absolutely. This is like etched in stone. Okay, now the point number 2, we have the tariffs on imports and vice versa. So that's another thing that it's slightly different on inflation. Tariffs, it can be controlled and it can be used. They can be a good tool for progress and all the positive things that we have, or it could be a negative tools like Trump is going to use it as punishing other nations. But this is got nothing to do with the prevalence or the dominance of one market. Decide that, okay, United States is the biggest nation with a dominance on the market and other world issue, so we dictate it to everybody. That's like having a gorilla into a China store. It's not right. It can be used, but that's not right. Okay? And then we have Trump, favorite co-president, which is Elon Musk. Who elected him? Nobody. Trump went into power with somewhat around a third of the votes because a lot of people didn't go to vote. So now with a minority like that, he's got the arrogance to appoint anything, anywhere, anytime, without the proper vetting. And this makes United States weaker on foreign issues and on domestic issues too. Domestic issues, I understand why he wants it weaker. So he can start to lay the ground for a dictatorship. Because to me, it's very clear he don't want to ever leave Washington again. And this is against the Constitution. But it seems like for these people in Washington now, the new administration, the Constitution, they think it's just a piece of paper for all the gullible people to abide by, but not for them. Wrong, wrong. And I could say some other word not suggestible to pronounce here in this issue. Then we have the attack to the DOJ, the Department of Justice, by this administration. It's ridiculous what they're doing. It's completely ridiculous. Starting with the Mr. Muck, because that's all he is Muck. Starting with him. He's cutting left and right. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's more likely responsible already worldwide of 600,000 deaths because he decided to cut on the same time, oh, I have to calm down a second because what they're doing is upsetting me, okay? So he's cutting on the same day in less than 24 hours, is completely shutting down the U.S. aid. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to have so many problems. Principal problem, collateral problem that they never bother to look into it. And what they do, We are going to be the ones suffering about that. Meanwhile, the super billionaire over there, he won't suffer a thing. That's easy. That's easy to govern like that, mister. So, and then we have the lawsuit against the administration by 21 states and set aside California. They had their own, so that's 22 states that they're suing them. And what they do, these people now, they say, oh, well, whatever they're telling us to do, we are not doing it. So if the judge says something, we're going to fire him. So it is clear as the daylight that they have nothing good for the American people and the American nation. What they want to do is just enrich themselves beyond the pale. And therefore, they will not have to answer ever for the rest of their life, and maybe the other generation in following them. They have to answer to anybody, no authority or no everything. And to me, that's not right. Now, the number 6 point, this administration is breaking the law that it's on our Constitution. Who are the authorities can stop or arrest this lawbreaker? It seems like when I watch those shows like on MSNBC, CNN, and God forbid, sometime I even watch Fox with, please. Fox, it's a cancer in the United States society. It's a cancer that's killing us slowly. So, but when I look at this channel, they are people that they interview. It seems like, oh, we have no president on this one. We don't know. We have never done something like that. Those expressions are a sign of a weakness. If I were in their shoes, I would say something like that, and that applies across the board. Says, this authority instituted by Trump, by no any vetting whatsoever, it presents themselves to a branch of the government and wanted to know everything. If I do that, I go to jail. So why they should be different? They shouldn't be different. Whoever is in there doing their work, they should call the local police, get the chief, take them down to the building and grab these arrogant people and put them into a holding jail until everything's got to be cleared out, has to be checked. If something doesn't check, keep them in jail. Not just giving up and giving the resignation and all that. That's the easy way out. That's the easy way out. Don't do that. Okay, so, and that's my opinion, okay? And I believe it's correct. Even though all these people that they resigned from their post, they did it accordingly to a tradition and stuff like that. Today, the times are different. That is not going to do anything. They don't care if the appointed on the post give a resignation. Makes it easier for them. And when they have control, now we're going to rely on the American people. We see what happened the last election. How can you rely on the American people? I wish. But it seems like if one time didn't go right, what's the chances for the second time to go right? We're going to have a dictatorship for the next 25 years. Because that's the average, maybe even less, but that's the average of the dictatorship works. Point number 7, Trump setting up the ground for dictatorship. Now, what I said in the previous point, some of those points already are a hint of what he's going to do. Because he said it previously many times that he doesn't like to leave Washington. He would like to stay in Washington. So, his way of setting up the ground and foundation for a dictatorship is to weakening all the branches, the government branches. And then with that one, it creates the problem in the various different branches. And with that one, then he's going to finger point everyone about that. So now, how did this decided to weakening the government branches? By having Elon Musk cutting the money, cutting the financing, so that they will no longer be able to function correctly. And after that one, when the monies are gone, he's going to point out, Trump is going to point out that that government branch didn't do that one right, the other one, it didn't do these things correctly, it never returned to us. So all kind, even minor problem, is going to point them out. That those are problems created by its buddy, Elon Musk, cutting the money. So the problem are created, is Trump is going to get that luxury of finger point what they did wrong, and he's going to suggest the solution, which the solution has one common thread, taking the power away from them so they can go into his hand. And that's how he's going to do that one. Now, another question, which is that one is on point 8, we should ask, which probably people did ask, why he firing the inspectors general, 18 of them. They are independent, they are vetted, not politically inclined, and they are saying, and they are checking what the different government branch are doing to make sure that everything is apportioned correctly to the right, for the right things, to the right entities. And that's how that works. Now, from point, this is the firing of Inspector General, it's my point 8. My point 8 also include the firing of the Attorney General assistants. They fired all of the one on January 6th that they tried to find the responsibility that Trump had on January 6th insurrection. Okay, I won't call it revolution. Revolution is too much of a noble word for insurrection. Insurrection is something that, to me, sounded like that anyone can do it, as long as they have the means and the power of doing it. Revolution, it's more ideological. So, that is, now, point number 9. We're asking ourselves, after all this money has been taken out of the federal government, where that money goes? Who's handling that money? And obviously the other branches being weakened, they will not be able to answer. It will take such a long time that they will become either moot because the bunch of local, not the local, but the bunch of administration in Washington, they are likely criminal. I can find a nicer word to say it. Criminal, because they are thieves. They got over there for a reason. They deprived other people of their due earnings or wherever they work for it. They deprived and they apportioned for themselves. So Elon Musk, being the richer man in the world, is number one. And then come the other with a different degree. As I'm not much of a religious man, but as Jesus Christ said, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to access the heaven kingdom. So, that to begin with, that when they die, they're going to leave everything here, no matter what. So, this is my opinion. So now what they do, they create the government completely opaque. We don't know what's going on. We don't know everything. We may know of some state that try to keep the good old ways, some transparency, but many of the Republican states, they are already opaque and they will just be more. Okay. Now, why the Trump-like and the Elon Musk-like, why they want to have an opaque government? I'll tell you why. Because they want to take the money. Take the money to do what? Trump already said it plainly on air. He wants to develop Gaza. That guy has lost his mind. That guy, he doesn't know where he's coming or going. He's too old for being a president. Too old. Go home. Okay? So, he wants to develop Gaza. Okay? Then what? He's going to take all the profit. He's not going to leave the profit for those few Palestinian left because, you know, like they're going to use the same rule that they use in the entertainment business in the United States. Well, you're going to have all white people. Occasionally you put in a black people so that they don't have much to say about. They're going to use the same thing in Gaza because they don't know any better. They are dumb. Okay? So here it is. We got these things over here. Gaza, yes, this is a place and a chance where we can shine upon the entire world. We shine if we do the right things. No, this guy at the White House he can't shine. Even if you put a 100,000 watt bulb on him, he can't shine. He's gonna get burned. Hope, God, please. Okay. So, and he wants to take the Panama Canal. He wants to annex Canadian as a 51st state. He wants to buy Greenland. By the way, the right way to say Greenland in Danish is Groenlandia. That's Italianized. Okay, so just that. We already have a base over there. Lease it, for crying out loud. Lease it. These guys be glad that they got some money from us. You lease it, you make all kind of bases you want it. But why you want to take the ownership away? What's the difference? Look at Taiwan. Look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong, 99 years lease. They have no imagination. That's right. They are not good in Washington. They shouldn't be there. Okay. All right, and I get some more of the note over here. They're going to blame the deep state. Yes, as I just mentioned to you guys and girls. So, and, okay, my friend, we're going to go into a short break. And after this short break, we're going to come back and talk about Saugus local issues, the one that count for us over here, us little people. Welcome back to Disgruntled Italian. I am your host Ercole, and we're going to pick up, as I said before, to the Saugus local issues. The one that I wasn't even aware of it, and I was really, really close to it, like a neighbor. And that's about the dog park. The dog park, it's a great idea. I think it's wonderful. I like dogs. I had a few dogs in my life. And it was, I participating more as an observer than anything else at the town meeting about this project. And I was surprised to see that people, they do look into it. There were quite a few people. But one thing I thought of it, I was nearby, like, I don't know, maybe 200 yards away from them, 300. So I consider myself a neighbor, and also I didn't know. Now I asked myself, how many people in Saugus will know about that? So I'm going, and I hope I don't be arrogant. I'm gonna hope and try to speak for all of them, if it is possible. So I noticed that people come to the meeting. They are well documented of their rights, what they can say and all that. The chairman, he did an excellent job, and so are all the other representatives over there. And they had 2 points. One was for the dog park, and the other one was for against the dog park, not for the dog park itself, but for the location, because supposedly it's into a critical ecological area. Now, how that is true, I don't know. I didn't have the time to make all the research and have a few information either I can mention to you or I can put it together to make a point. That I didn't have the time. So, but by listening to them, I realized one thing, that the person they are against it, they have for ecological reason, because it's a very delicate area over there, and they sustain that time is against the ecology, because it's going to sooner or later pollute it and create some problems. Okay, and they suggested another location in Saugus, which unfortunately I missed the address. So even as I speak to you now, I don't know exactly where in Saugus, but that's not the really main point at this time. Now, while the other side, they were saying about, well, this location has been abandoned, there is all kind of stuff, it's so bad, and I sort of agree, even though I never stepped over there, but I can imagine, because I haven't seen much traffic over there. So, and I go like, yeah, they're right. So, and I'm thinking of myself, and I said, why the town doesn't show some very well-proven democracy move, listen to the opposition, evaluating what they suggesting and what they're giving, so that the opposition and the people at large, they know that the authority they are listening. They are not just ignoring, but they are listening, which is good on their way. So, if by any sheer luck they decide to change location, that doesn't mean that the other side lost their point. No, because Saugus is a beautiful town. It should be quainter if they fix a few things around, which in future issue I will mention it and I will take it on. With this one over here, I will keep you, my friends, up to date on it and see what's going on, okay, and let you know. So, and the other, the one that was for, the reason why is that they wanted to have a clean, well-maintained area. So, why they don't maybe look into the other location, but again, keep that area clean, maintained, and watch. You can watch it by somebody suggested at the meeting by hiring part-time policemen or wherever. But I also, I suggested myself, after a point I have to say something, I can't keep my mouth shut. So, and I suggested, why don't you put cameras on it? And they, they says to me, yeah, we thought, we have that one on already. Okay. But it obviously, something, it has to be watched. So you watch the area. The people are not doing what they're not supposed to do, like as I hear rumor, people go over there and injecting themselves with some kind of drugs or whatever, which is no good, doesn't help anybody, doesn't help the neighbor, it doesn't help the people that they inject their drug, because they are left on their own. So that's what I would like to tell the whole Saugus about it. I was over there, I looked it up, and I promise to them that they will see my face much more often, so I can report on new people where I hear and my impression and opinion, for what it's worth it anyway. So, and I believe this one will conclude this episode of Disgruntled Italian. I thank you for watching my show. Your people are great. If you wanted to forward to me any question, negative, positive, we'll answer anything we receive, and you can do it to my email, which is disgruntleditalian@gmail.com. And when this one concludes my show, thank you for everybody. Arrivederci alla prossima volta. Till next time.